Scorpio, I'm here to give you a supermoon series wild card read straight from the hip with lots of lift. And we're looking at a very significant supermoon cycle that got kicked off with the supermoon in Capricorn back on July 3rd. And we're looking at the first cycle, okay? There's 4 of them back to back. So I'm going to be doing reads for all the signs for each of those cycles. We're looking at the first one right now, which culminates on August 1st with the super moon in Leo. Okay, lots of action going on in this cycle, but there are 4 in this series. The third one kicks off on August 31st, and that's going to be in the sign of Pisces. All right, so a lot shifting at that time with that super moon. I'm already feeling it, that there's going just to be a lot transforming at that time, especially on an emotional level and with things really getting in a phase of moving forward, you know. And I feel like more moving forward emotionally. I feel like almost there's going to be a lot of communication that comes in with that super moon on August 1st in Aquarius. It's going to like open up the lines of communication, and I feel like some light is going to be shed on some past matters. I feel, Scorpio, that you are very much going to be active in that process. I think there is something that you're birthing right now, but you're birthing something that has its roots in the past, but is going through some kind of transformational process. I think it's been a very deep, cathartic process. I feel like you got a lot of downloads coming in right now. I think this is going to continue to pick up. I think there's just a lot of psychic awareness developing within you. And I mean, you already have a sensitivity. Scorpions are really able to feel things vibrationally. And I think the vibrations are going to be picking up and amplifying for you. So one thing that's very important for you as you build up to that super moon on August 1st, when there's going to be all that expansion in communication. And I feel especially like on the World Wide Web, okay, so look for things to pick up on that level, a lot more communication happening online, a lot more text messages coming in, a lot more DMs. You might get a DM from somebody you weren't expecting to hear from. There's some kind of transformational process that gets kicked off, gets underway at that time that is like the seeds of your new beginning, but there's birthing pains with it, all right? There's birthing pains with it. Some of you are going to be going through a lot of like transformational healing work around this. It's psychological healing work. You may be working with some kind of therapy in this process. Jungian therapy is kind of like front and center, working with archetypal imagery to express what's hard to put into words. I think symbols will really be speaking to you. You might even want to work with this, like designing your own symbols creatively. I'm just like seeing drawing or painting different symbols that kind of contain the essence of what you're feeling for those things you're having difficulty articulating. This can be very powerful as a meditation. It can create a lot of transformation for you within the healing process of anything that has its roots in the deep past. Some of you are doing this transformational healing work around your bloodline. It's birthing new gifts from you that come from the roots, that come from the old, deep past, you know, the bones of the past, you know. The bones of the past are finding life within you again. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's something really old. It feels something very old, some old wisdom, some old knowledge is like coming forward in you. I feel like it's got a bit of an awakening vibe, but there's a lot of like birthing pains around it, okay? And I feel like you need to support your body as you open up to this guidance. It's going to be so essential. Getting enough protein, you know, you might look at really upping your protein. Protein is extremely grounding. It helps you really stay rooted, you know, connected to the earth, especially when your nervous system is really taxed from being in that place of sensitivity, opening up to channeling. Maybe you're starting to have an opening in your psychic gifts, or you're having new clairs awaken for you. This is a different experience, you know, it's a bit to step into it. You know, there's birthing pains around it. It's not comfortable, okay? Getting in good quality protein, making sure you're eating more protein, maybe even shifting to a bit higher protein of a diet, making sure you're getting in good quality monounsaturated fats as well, you know, will really help the integrity of your nervous system. It's like your circuit board, you know, for getting these messages, getting these downloads. So if you're somebody who's in any kind of realm of metaphysical work, this message is super important for you. But I feel like this is also playing a key in this message you're going to get from this person, that you're going to go enter into some kind of like transformational healing process with. That's what I get. Okay. There's some kind of transformational healing process that comes through. And that's a big part of this cycle. I feel like you're prepping for it, you know, you're getting prepared for it. Some of you are looking at microdosing, you know, this coming in, you're wanting to work with mushrooms as allies for doing transformational healing work. This is new for you. Some of you are getting into this line of work. You're helping support others through their birthing process. Okay, very interesting messages. All right, we're going to go ahead and dive in. These are just sort of like my instant downloads I got for you all. When I'm reading for Scorpio or any sign that comes in on this read, it's for any significant placement: Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or a significant house placement. Okay, for Scorpio, that is the 8th house. And for Scorpio energy, we also are going to bring in Taurus rising, because that would make you a Scorpio descendant. All right. I really want people to get familiarized with the descendant sign. I'm going to be doing a lot more work with the descendant sign. And your rising sign has such a significance when it comes to just what to tune into as well for reads. All right. The more specific you can get, the more you can have like distilled messages. You know what I'm saying? Then you don't get confused with like too much information coming in, too many downloads, especially if you're already, you know, opening up psychically, you know, getting another like download, another upgrade to the system, to your visioning system. I do feel like there's a lot of this action going on for Scorpio, but it doesn't surprise me. You all already move on that deeper undercurrent of life. You already feel things, you know, on a very visceral level before they come in. You might have psychometry awakening in you. Psychometry is when you can hold the object of a person, and just through holding something that belonged to them, you get all kinds of like downloads, visions, information coming in. You might notice that there's a lot more like things are more kinetic for you. Very interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, look at this fucking hourglass. I was really drawn to work with the arcane bullshit deck for you all. Okay. I got big Carlos Castaneda vibes. I'm remembering that whole scene, right? When he was doing that work with peyote out in the desert. You know, he had the moth come to him. And you may be in a process of, you might feel like you're kind of going through a spiritual death at this time. Yes, I think that's very true. It went from 9 to 9:10 to 9:11. Yes, you know, it might feel like a lot if this is like your first time really experiencing that kind of transformational initiation gateway. All right. So if it's your first time, you know, breathe, you know, making sure that you're bringing in tempering energy. It's helpful to take baths. Okay. It also clears your auric field. You know, that old Edgar Cayce remedy: 2 cups baking soda, 2 cups Epsom salt or sea salt, you know, throw that in a tub. So for 20 minutes, it'll get any hitchhiker energy off of you. You can just get back in your own energy. That's something you have to be really mindful of when you're sensitive like this. Okay. When you're sensitive like this, you make sure boundaries more permeable, so you can tap into more of the collective energy. And certainly if you are in the metaphysical line of work, or if you're a reader, you know, if you're doing any deep spiritual work, if you've been doing ritual work, things along these lines, it's so essential that you're really being mindful of your energetic hygiene at this time. All right. Just making sure that you're closing things properly, earthing things, releasing things to flowing waters, that you're not like keeping a bunch of old working debris like around you, that you're disposing of it reverently, respectfully, properly, that you're also giving gratitude, okay? That you're staying in that place of gratitude, that you don't just ask spirit for things, that you also give back to spirit, that you feed spirit. This part is very important too. It's also about cleansing your own energy body, you know, taking those spiritual cleansing baths, making sure you're doing like anointings, you know, as well, you know, remembering to pay attention to the crown, pay attention to the heart center. You know, you can even just get like a little carrier oil and some kind of blessing oil. It can be anything that really just speaks to you, you know, tune in, you'll know what's right for you, 11:22 on the clock. And you can do this to kind of keep these centers clear. I'm picking up that these are your two most important centers right now. It's like the heart is the bridging point between the lower realms. And I feel like you're pulling down a lot of energy, inspiration, guidance, spiritual guidance, you know, from the ether right now. And so you want to make sure the heart is clear so the heart can receive the memo, okay, but also be able to root that in material reality and enter that flow of reciprocation, you know, that cycle of abundance, the giving and receiving. It's like what comes in for you now. At first, it's an internalized experience and it opens you up, but it's meant to be shared, okay? It's meant to be contributed to the collective. There's something you're going to birth out of what you're downloading right now, your own healing process, and it's a gift that you're bringing forward to the collective. So in order for you to really receive the download and then also to be able to share it and receive the blessing that comes from that, when you share this creation, you have to have the heart center open. The heart is what bridges you with Manipura, okay, your power center, your solar plexus. We've been working with a lot of solar energy lately. And as much as we have that super moon energy coming in, we got really bright lunar energy happening here. The solar energy is front and center too. You know, we had really an amplification of the solar energy when we had that full super moon come in Capricorn on July 3rd. It was totally in alignment with the dog star Sirius, which is the spiritual sun. So we really got like lights on in the room, a lot of things being seen, a lot of things coming to light. I got so many downloads coming in for you, Scorpio, all right? So this read is already going to be interesting. I don't always, you know, pull out this deck. It really is, yeah, look, it's birthday time for you. You're going through rebirth. You're like letting go of an old identity. You are releasing the stories of the past and what's weighed you down, what's made you feel so heavy. I feel like there's going to be this like real lightness of being and celebration when you come out the other side of this. Some of you have been going through like a soul retrieval process. You've been calling back soul parts. You've been doing really deep integrative work. There's some reason to celebrate though, you know, something comes out of this that gives you a reason to celebrate. You also may be having some kind of celebration with somebody from your past. And this could occur around your birthday time. Or maybe this person's birthday is coming up soon as well. That could be possible. You know, Leo season, big Leo energy, front and center, with the changing of the nodes of destiny that's coming up on the 18th on Tuesday next week. Okay, with those changing of the nodes, with it going into Aries North Node, Libra South Node, the Alpha Omega point. It is a birthing point. It is a birthing portal. Okay, you might actually, you know somebody who's got a birthday coming up pretty soon here. They might even be a Cancer Leo cusper. Okay, that's a possibility. Leo season. There's a Cancer new moon that comes in on Monday on the 17th, but that's when it's in its dark phase. When it starts to build light on the 18th and we have the changing of the nodes of destiny, it moves into the sign of Leo. So Leo really front and center. You might be dealing with a Leo, or somebody who has Leo strongly aspected in their chart. This person might have a birthday coming up soon. There might be something coming around that needs to be transformed in relation to this individual. Some kind of karma to clear up, okay, that like ties things up before moving into the new cycle. All right, let's just see what comes in for you. We're actually going to bring in the cards. Big download for you in the opener here. All right, let's see what is coming in for Scorpio collective in this supermoon cycle that got kicked off on July 3rd with the Capricorn supermoon and is coming to a culmination on August 1st with the Aquarius supermoon. What is coming in? I just heard once in a blue moon, so I feel like whatever comes in, whatever message really comes in, and sort of like, it feels like it's got like megaphone vibes, like you know, there's an amplification of this message that comes in right around that supermoon. I feel like something really significant goes down as a result of that you would never anticipate. And it's like once in a blue moon, like what are the odds? I feel like you really get to see the fruition of that when the blue moon comes in, the super moon that will be in Pisces on the 31st of August. Okay, so really Leo season popping off, important stuff going down for you in Leo season. And a lot of you may be dealing with a Leo, all right? This fucking guy, you know? I feel like you need a little humor in your process. I feel like it's been a little heavy. And naturally, Scorpio South Node, okay? So there's a lot of this action. This deck, it's really out of pocket, okay? And there's a lot of humor that comes in, but you've dealt with this guy before, all right? This is somebody, you know who this person is. They walk around, they carry a big stick, you know. They think this is the way to, I have to. I have to point it out. Okay, you got a big stick in the hand, okay, but that's kind of a small stick there. So this might, you know, this might be speaking to somebody about why this person kind of throws their weight around, or maybe this person in some way felt like, I'm getting emasculated by you. Like in some way you really bruised this guy's ego. You know, you made him feel like he wasn't a man, you know, and so maybe there's been a posturing, you know, maybe you rejected this person, or maybe you didn't give this person the reception they were expecting, you know, and so this riled like a lot of anger in this person. They might have been talking a good game. This person may have even been talking badly about you, okay? I got this, but it's because in some way they felt emasculated. You know, I could even see this being like somebody who really had a thing for you, but you didn't feel the same, you know, it wasn't that for you. Maybe they wanted something more out of the connection. You were like, well, I was just, you know, in it for a good time. That's a possibility too. There's a lot of different ways that this could work out, but this person's combative. You've had issues with this person. You know, it's always something, you know, it's always something. They always got something to say. You know, they always got some axe to grind. They don't know how to like calmly work through things. This person is combative. They're argumentative, you know. They feel like they have to prove a point to you. They want to beat you over the head with it, you know. It's that kind of energy, okay? So I think this is who this message is coming through with. Let's get some clarity. What's this fucking guy coming forward for? What does he want to talk about here? What does he have to say? What is this axe he has to grind? Why is he showing up? Why is this message coming in from this dude? What is this about, man? I don't know why, but his headdress, it reminds me of like the pharaohs. So I don't know if there's like, you feel an affinity with Egypt. I don't know if there's some kind of affinity with Egypt. It's really interesting, okay? Because in a recent download, I got this message that came in as Star of Syria. And I'm like, what is this about? What is this Star of Syria about? And of course, there's like unrest in that part of the world right now. But I just didn't understand like what's the symbolism of this. So I decided I was going to like research it. And I researched it, and the Syrian flag has two stars on it. One represents Syria, and the other represents Egypt. They used to be unified, right? But there's this division now, okay? But that's not how the message came through for me. The message came through as Star of Syria. So when I saw that and I was able to make the connection, I was like, oh, so this is speaking of some unification process happening here. There's something that's being integrated here. There's something that's, you know, again, there's birthing pain. So there's unrest, there's disruption. And yes, of course, this is happening globally, all right? It is like a big collective download, but because we're in your self node, right? So it makes sense that that kind of like global type of message would come in here with this reading for you, because with the unrest in the world, it's like, this is what's being in need of transforming, is this divisory kind of energy, this war energy. You know, there's a need for peace. There's a need for peace. There's a need for union. There's a need for these energies to be transformed, you know, not these aggressive, like I'm going to take what's mine out of greed at any cost, you know. It's about how I gain advantage. It's about how I elevate kind of energy. I'm picking that up, like that Pharaoh energy. And again, it's mirroring like the haves, the have-nots, right? And I feel like, despite that being like a global collective download, I also feel like that's playing out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going on the global level, or even in the multiverse, you know, it's playing out in your own personal life. So I feel like there's some aspect of that playing out in this relationship with this person. There's like a power struggle here. There's the division is because of the power struggle. It's because there's a certain level of selfishness involved in this situation where somebody just wants their way. They don't consider how the other feels, okay? And this is like a dividing point. Somebody really wants to be in power here, you know? It's got like Emperor in reverse kind of energy. Emperor in reverse kind of energy. This may be speaking very strongly to you too, because when we look at Emperor energy, we look at Taurus energy. We also look at Aries energy, okay? Aries will be taking over the North Node. We want to rise into destiny. If we want to transform our fate, we have to really transform these behaviors. That's what allows us to rise into our destiny. It takes alchemy work here, okay? It was 22:44 on the clock when I said that. Master numbers coming in. These are building blocks for the future, just like the building blocks of those pyramids. Ooh, that's really interesting. Because, you know, pyramids are all about drawing the energy down, that shape, okay? That shape. But when you think of like the Merkaba, all right, the Merkaba has these triangles formed, right? And there's triangles that direct also, you know, to the front and to the back. And the Merkaba is how we travel. It's like a vehicle. It's a chariot that carries us from, you know, one realm to the next, right? And so I feel there's this piece coming in for you where it's like there's a need to rise up out of the South Node. So if you take that pyramid, okay, turn it upside down and you like look at that, that's Muladhara, okay? That's a symbol of like that Muladhara chakra. It's drawing the energy down, okay? Drawing the energy down so it can like radiate up when you join the two together. And then whew, that's the transformation point, that it transforms the past and creates the new timeline for moving into the future. I know this is going really out there, all right, but I'm picking up these energies. And maybe that's part of that star energy coming together as well. Very interesting, because the Merkaba does also kind of have this energy that looks like a star. So I'm picking up this here very strongly. There's a unification happening where there's been war, there's been division, there's been fighting, there's been drama, there's been arguments, there's been my side, your side. We can't get on the same side. We're in a very, like, we're in the birthing pains of transforming these energies collectively, globally. But it's happening for you with this fucking guy. And maybe you do share like a past life energy in Egypt. And so because of what's happening in that realm of the world, it's also playing out in this connection. You know, old stuff is being dredged up, this grudge energy, this, you know, battle of wills. It's really old, you know, it's got its roots in the deep, deep, deep past, right? I know this is speaking to somebody. All right, so let's get some more information on this fucking guy. I had to bring that in because it was just like such a big download. And for that to come in with this, making that connection point is very interesting. A lot of you may feel like you have a connection with a lifetime in Egypt. Some of you may feel like you have a lifetime in Egypt, but it has like a combative energy around it. Like you're at war with this connection, like something, some tie to that life. It has some kind of negative association for you that's sort of like playing out. Very interesting. The greased priest. Yeah, I find this very interesting. Look at the same type of headdress. Is this not wild? Look at this. This is wild. This may even have something to do with differences of spirituality. This is another theme that might be playing out for you. You know, we opened this up with a download, like you're starting to come to this place of opening up to metaphysical knowledge. You know, you're getting more of the clairs coming in, this kind of thing. You might really be connected to Egyptian deities. You might have a real strong connection. We brought in Sirius, so that makes me think of Isis, Anubis. You know, you might really resonate. Ra, I just got Ra. Ooh. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. There might be something complicated with Ra. If you've been working with Ra, you might need to do some transformational work. I think you have some, like, you need to give some offerings. You've been falling a little bit short on that. I think that's why that's coming in with that greased priest. It's like, you can represent yourself as, you know, being aligned with Ra's energy, but that's big solar energy. Okay. So if you're going to represent as that, you really need to embody that energy, and you need to make sure you're feeding that energy as it feeds you. So important. Again, the cleansing, the purification, need to do purification work, cleansing work. It's very important. Or you know, you might find yourself at odds with that path. Okay. That message coming in. But I also feel like this is like differences of spirituality. And maybe this is a bone of contention that you've had also with this person that you're going to be communicating with. They might come from a really like traditional kind of spiritual background. You have more of an eclectic path, or perhaps you're on some kind of occult path. You know, there's some kind of differences in views. You know, look at, you're both turning into different directions. One of you may be more of like experimental in terms of relationship. The other is very much about tradition, you know. One wants commitment, the other wants freedom. These are all different themes that could have played out in this connection. Whatever it is, I feel like there's a lot of roots to tradition in this situation that are playing out. That's what's kind of fueling the division. It's just sort of like, no, we've always done this way, things this way between us. This is the way our relationship's always been. And maybe this person even has very traditional roles, like maybe even roles that are informed by kind of like that, you know, traditional sort of like Christian view, where it's like the woman's supposed to be like this, the woman's supposed to be more docile, the woman's not allowed to be a mouthpiece, the woman is not allowed to, you know, take charge in the bedroom. All right. The woman's not supposed to prophesy. All right. This is all, you know, that's very much all part of like, you know, New Testament stuff. So, oh my goodness, I didn't even notice this. Look at on the priest. There's the, this is a key here. Look at, there's that triangle that I was talking about. Okay. There again, like what you're offering up to spirit, it needs to go through a transformational process. There's a cleansing that needs to happen here. Wild. There's knowledge that comes out of this. There's knowledge that rises up out of this. Then you'll get the downloads really coming in. Okay. But I feel like this is, you know, you're transforming a connection with somebody, that this has deep spiritual ties. Like this goes way back. This is a spiritual lesson for you. This person's a spiritual lesson for you. You know, there also may be a part of you that might feel like self-righteous, or might feel like, you know, you were the good one in the relationship and it's all this person's fault. Like, you know, You might put a lot of blame on this person. This might be, you know, why they also feel a bit emasculated, because you're not recognizing their experience in the connection. You might be the one who's very aggressive towards this person, and that's why you get such a combative response. That's why this person isn't open to you. This person may view you like this. They may think you're full of it. They may think you're full of shit. They may think you're a smooth talker, you know, but you don't walk your talk, okay? And this person's like, well, I walk my talk. I walk tall and I carry a big stick. And you know what I'm saying? So I think there's a bit of mirroring going on in this situation, and this is something that's going to be sort of like sorted out. Okay, what's being transformed here in this situation? We know there's some sticky stuff to work through. It's a little slippery. Oh, this is just a slice of the whole pie. Look at this. We got pizza coming in here, the all-seeing eye. All right, again, this reminds me of what I was talking about at the beginning as well with the download, that you're going to be getting like a lot of downloads coming in, but what you've gotten so far, it's like just a slice of it. You could really blast open, you know, like this direct link to the gifts that want to awaken in you right now. It's really going to bring forward clairs within you. And you need these downloads because it's what's going to help you know how to move forward in this situation. It was 31:44 on the clock when I said that. 444 energy. This is about aligning you with like Spirit's plan and Spirit's guidance in regard to this challenge you have coming in with this fucking guy, because there's something that you are transforming here. And there also might be something that's being cleansed from spiritual work done in the past in relation to this person. If both of you are alchemists, if one or both of you are alchemists, you do work with magic, you do workings, anything of this nature, you did root work, anything along these lines, there might be something in relation to this that, even though it was like maybe an old working you did, maybe you even cleared it out, maybe you didn't earth it, maybe that's why that came in, maybe you still need to like earth the energy, maybe you'll find things, you know, moving forward a little more cleanly once you earth the energy. There's something that needs to be cleansed here. It also could be that there's still something that needs to be closed with that work, and this is like part of like the karmic balancing, okay, in this connection. Yeah, this is just one slice of it, though. There's a lot more you need to see about this picture. There's also something that needs to be digested here. When I think of pizza, too, it's kind of heavy. It's kind of heavy. There might be a pizza connection. Maybe you all like pizza as your thing. That's how you all connected with each other. Maybe the last time you saw each other, you know, you shared pizza together. This could also be somebody of Italian descent. I got that. Oh, okay. I got like, I'm looking at all the cheese on this because that's not how they do pizza in Italy, and it's making me think Chicago. Maybe it's somebody with a Chicago connection. I'm going to bring all those in as they come in, okay? But in order for you to really like tap in and really make full use of your already inherent sensitivity, Scorpio Descendant. I said Scorpio Descendant. Okay, so Taurus rising is this is speaking really strongly to you. You got to clean up your diet. Your diet's not allowing you to get full access to your spiritual gifts. Really important that you do this work on changing the diet. It's creating blockages. And I think you've already gotten the memo on this, because I'm almost feeling like this is like your spirit guides are like, hey, I keep telling you, you need to clean up that diet. You need to get a little bit more disciplined, all right? Also, this piece about the downloads, the insights, the connection to spirit, it's only as clear as the conduit, okay? So it's like you need to take more care of your vessel. You need to take care of your physical body. This is coming in really strongly for you, but it's like coming in relation to your ability to like really stay tapped into spirit and to manifest, you know, really manifest. This connection coming through very strongly for you. It's very interesting. This message is really interesting. I want to look at the bottom of the deck. Ooh, urinal death. The Queen of Holes. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at this. This is wild the way it comes in. Okay. All right. So urinal death. Yeah. Look, there's something here, you know, that's just, it's sitting. It's sitting. It's not being cleansed out. It's old energy that's not being cleansed out. This is very interesting. Like, you might need to, like, when you are releasing, you know, when you got to go in and you got to take a piss, you should piss it out. You know, piss out the old energy. Work. This may sound strange, but you can actually use your bodily functions to help clear this energy from your system as well, this old cycle. It may sound unusual, but from an Ayurvedic perspective, it's all interconnected, mind, body, spirit. Also, you might need to look at your kidneys, okay? Your kidneys might need some support right now. One of the best things you can do for your kidneys, it's really simple, and it's in season right now. It's perfect for Pitta season. You can take the corn silk. So when you get fresh corn, you know, and you peel back the husk, there's all those silky threads. You can take those silky threads, the corn silk, and you can put it in water, bring it to a boil and steep it as a tea and drink that. Oh, it is so, so nourishing for the kidneys. So I feel like maybe your kidneys could use a little support. And again, like I said, you know, it's all interconnected. The vessel needs to be fit. So if your filtration system, that's what your kidneys are, they're your filtration system. If it's not clear, you can't filter, you know, you can't filter things out effectively, and it creates like a toxic load for you, all right? Some of you might have been having kidney pains, like pain in that lower back area. You know, sometimes you can feel it wrapping around the side into the psoas. It's interesting. I'm getting so much around the body for you and the connections that it has metaphysically, the connections it has emotionally. You might be like looking at this. You might be learning more about this. Psoas is related to frustration. It's also where we hold our trauma. You know, it's the spiritual muscle. They call it the spiritual muscle. There's something here about you need to let things flow, and you need to be more mindful about your energetic hygiene here, that you're doing your purification work, you know, that you're not holding on to the sediment, the things of the past, you know, this old like negative attachment energy that's actually like supposed to be filtered out of your system. You're supposed to be cleansing that out and releasing it. Get a lot of water in, drink a lot of water, work with that corn silk tea, you know, that could really help you. It feels really good too. It's super nourishing. I think you'll find your downloads coming through a lot clearer. Look, we got the Queen of Holes. All right. So it's like, look at what comes in here, the gravy funnel. It's like Spirit wants to pour all this goodness into you. All right. It's all gravy, baby. What wants to come in for you is all gravy, baby. It's like big bless up energy. Look at that infinity symbol there. You know, you turn it the other way and it's an 8. Okay. That's like the manifestation point. It's you aligning with the power of spirit, you know, and it pouring into you almost like an Ace of Cups. Like that's your new beginning. Maybe this is your new beginning in love. Maybe your new beginning in love is with this fucking guy. It may be with this fucking guy. You may have been having issues with this guy, you know? You guys have been arguing. You're at odds with each other. You think this person's selfish, you know? You're at battle with each other, you know? You're almost competing with each other. You know, who can be, you know, stubborn enough, you know? Who's going to win out here? It's got almost like standoff at the OK Corral energy. And it's like somebody's trying to act like they're above it. Like, I'm above it. I have to let it go. I'm in a place like spiritual peace. But so they're so full of it. Maybe they're also full of it. They've been eating away their emotions. They've been stuffing down their pain, you know? It's making their belly bigger. The belly, it's the place of like digesting experiences, but it's also like the birthing portal, right? It's like what bursts new things into being. That's where we have our sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. Also, Sacral chakra, it's where old love energy can be corded in. It's where our old love stories are sort of like stored, you know, from our intimate partners. So there's a lot of like cleansing coming through. And yes, just as I say that, when I look at that triangle, it reminds me of a chakra center. So I think there's some stuff you need to clear out of sacral chakra as well, you know. Svadhisthana, work with some sacral chakra clearing. You might need more orange in your life too. Just surrounding yourself with the color of orange, like bringing in that vibrancy, sweet, orange, juicy fruits. I'm getting like, you might even want to work with essential oils like that. Sweet mandarin. Sweet mandarin, when you put that into like a salt blend for doing your soaks, that might be something you want to bring in for your cleansing baths. I love it. It's like Florida water, you know, but it really builds like the ojas and the sweetness, but it's also really stimulating for the lymphatic system. So it helps build the rasa, right? You got a lot of like this health connection coming in here. Almost like, it's really interesting. The health of your connection to spirit is akin to the health of your relationship with your body, is akin to the health of your relationships with others. It's very much energetic for you right now. But this wants to pour in for you, all right? It wants to pour in for you. It can't though, because it's like it's pouring into you, and as it pours into you, it seeps right out of you. You need to do more energy work, you know? You're needing to really get in your own energy too. That might be part of the problem. You have too much enmeshed, entangled energy with this person. So the more that you can kind of get in your own energy, have good energetic boundaries and hygiene, all right, then you're going to be able to find that everything you need to like get this on the right page comes in. But it starts with first getting yourself aligned, because that's what the Ace of Cups is about, right? A lot coming in here, a lot of transformation coming in here. But this is interesting to me, even though it's a gravy boat, it's reminding me of like a magic lamp for some reason. And so I feel like wishes are pouring in here, like blessings are wanting to come in here. I think of gravy, like everything's better with gravy. Like, who doesn't want the secret sauce? Oh yeah, okay. Interesting. You know, it's like, also, I feel this is coming in relation to business, right? Maybe you're in a metaphysical business and maybe you feel like somebody's your competition. You could be a reader. This is possible, all right? It's interesting. It made me think of that download that came in recently around original recipe. You know, you got the secret sauce. Like, don't seep out your energy in that way by like focusing on, you know, how somebody else does their thing. I feel like you got your own style, right? You got your own style. And this is very interesting. So any business pursuit, anything you're pursuing on a business level, where you're looking at what somebody else is doing, I mean, that can be informative on a certain level, but it should be more inspirational than anything. It shouldn't be about competition, because the reality is we each have our own secret sauce. We each have our own original blend. Nobody else does it like you. And I feel like that's what spirit wants to give you. They want to give you your secret sauce, okay? They got it for you. They got it all whipped up, you know? You got your own original recipe. But, you know, when I think roosters too, roosters can be kind of cocky, right? They can be kind of combative. They can be kind of loud, you know? And they can be like this, right? So there's this piece too, like, don't make it so much about competition, you know, because when you do that, you also lower the vibrational energy, especially if you're in any kind of metaphysical work, right? I don't know why I'm getting this, like people who kind of put themselves in a position where they're like, I am the high priestess, you know, it's like, you know, it's really about recognizing that we're all that energy, all of us. We all have these gifts, you know, these gifts are one of a kind. In Yoruba tradition, it's like the concept of a shay, you know, that essence, it's your soul's essence. It's what makes you uniquely you. You know, once you clear out these kind of like lower vibrational energies, watch as you admire others' gifts, others' talents, even though they are somebody in the same line of work as you, the same field as you. Watch as you start to really feel like, wow, you know, I recognize the inspiration in this person, and thank you for that, because that really allows me to elevate too. I want to bring forward my gifts as well. You know, notice how this is an energy where everybody can uplift each other. Maybe it's time to ditch tradition, you know, the way things are traditionally done in business, where there always has to be a competitor. How can we build together? How can we get on the same side? That's more Aquarian minded. And in business, you might want to be looking more along those lines about how can we mutually uplift each other. That's really an interesting, you might come into a place of like doing some kind of collaboration with somebody that you maybe thought you never would. All right. And maybe you are doing some kind of collaboration with somebody who does things very traditional and you do things very innovative. You know, you're sort of like charging the way forward. I also see that like stick, almost like, you know, that Ace of Wands that magician holds, that Aries energy when it comes into the North Node where it commands the new beginning. Maybe you are charging the way forward, you know. All you need is a little fire to light the way, you know. There might be something of value that you viewed as not having value that has its roots in tradition that you're kind of like bucking or you're casting aside. A lot of these interesting messages coming in, okay? But I also feel like where you've been dealing with kind of a cocky person, an old love, you know, somebody that we just can't get on the same page. You know, it could even be a friend. It could be anybody that you've been in this place with where there's something about transforming this connection, you know, births a new beginning. You guys have been at odds, you know, you each have your points. You're very strong-minded, but there's a way through here, okay? There's a way through here. This person could be born in the year of Rooster in Chinese astrology as well. So just giving you a little identifying factors. But, you know, get in your own energy. Then you'll see things clearly. There's a door of opportunity here, all right? Right now, it's just open, just a little crack, you know. If you don't get it together soon, though, that door of opportunity is going to slam shut. I got that very strongly for you, okay? Look for this new beginning. You know, Ace of Cups, I'm getting timing season. This comes in the summer, all right? Leading up to that fall equinox and the final supermoon that comes in after that, all right? That comes in on the 29th of September in the sign of Aries, all right? Big coming full circle point. There's a gift here, you know? But if you don't do the work yourself, you know, if you haven't healed your wounds, understand that you're going to lose the opportunity. This is about you doing the work yourself, all right? So that gravy don't come in, just spill out, or that you don't give all this goodness away to something not worthy of it, all right? This piece too, okay? I do think that this person coming around, they're a bit of a feral nerd, and they come in as a double caveman. Okay, so just like, yeah, this person does things the traditional way. They're really stubborn, okay? You know, it's like the quintessential alpha male amplified energy, all right? Just really stuck. This person's really stuck in the ways of the past, no matter gender, all right? Flip-flop it as you need to. This person's really stuck in the way things have always been done, you know? They're a bit of a nerd too. And they're scared, okay? You make them feel a little bit nerdy. We got them holding the bunny rabbit there. Rabbit medicine is all about calling our fears to us. If you've been focused too much on the past and you've been worried about like somebody from your past coming back around causing problems for you, I do want to let you know that you are a manifester. Be mindful of how you're manifesting things because the energy is pouring into you. All that focus on the path, you focus on what you fear too much, you can call it towards you, all right? If you're thinking about somebody in the past and you're with somebody new and you're like focusing so much on like, I don't want the same thing that happened in the past to happen again, you will very well call that experience back to you, you know, and then some, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there's something here. But you do have somebody that's approaching you, and there's somebody you've been involved with before. Or somebody, you know, you were evolved with, I went to say, okay, evolved with, I was going to say from a past life. So I meant to say involved, but evolved. So something's transforming here karmically, okay? This person's a bit of a nerd. You know, they may be even really into Egyptology. They might be very interested in the pyramids of Giza. They might be very interested in archaeology, like these kind of things. This person's horny. You know, the feral nerd, they are coming in with that big stick energy. All right. They might view you as a conquest as well. I get this piece, like this person feels emasculated, all right? But what we see here is there's something very old with the Frotus, all right, that's influencing the world. And when we think about the world, what we really have to think about is that there's this need for, the world needs to turn, right? You can't stay stuck in the past. There's a hold on energy here. There's hanger on energy here. The past needs to be cleared here. This energy needs to be transformed and released because it's sticky. You notice all the sticky theme? All the sticky theme in your read. This is like sticky energy that you have yet to release. And it's so essential. And this is so wild because I just had this totem come in for me. And I feel like this is a key here for you really stepping into this place of power, balance. It makes me think also of Emperor energy upright. Look at this. Rhubarb Tony. Rhubarb Tony. Oh, that's really funny. Okay, rhubarb Tony. I think of rhubarb and I think of like the South, okay? They have rhubarb pie in the South. Maybe there's a rhubarb pie connection. I don't know why I'm bringing that in. You know, when I think of pie, I think of a dessert. I think of just desserts, you know, something that's a just dessert, all right? I think of rhubarb and I also think of like, it's odd, right? This is odd, like making a pie out of rhubarb, okay? So there's this piece here too. You know, rhubarb is also very cleansing, right? So this is interesting, right? There might be something that needs to be cleansed in the pie, okay? Like something that needs to be cleansed on like a sexual level, on an intimacy level. You might want to do some cleansing, all right? I got this message coming in here. When I think of Tony too, like there was already the Italy collection that came. Italy collection. What the hell is going on with what's coming through here? Italy collection? Oh, maybe that's your type. Do you usually go for Italians? Do you dig Italians? Are you Italian? You know, I don't know. This piece coming in here, but it does remind me of that. Also, somebody named Tony could be involved in this situation. We've got a very specific name coming in here. Might be a Tony connection. But when I look at this, I feel like this is Emperor upright energy, and it's interesting. Look at, you know, rhubarb Tony. Oh, look at he wears sandals with the socks pulled up. Like it's so that energy, you know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's something that's being transformed here though. There's something that can grow here though, but there's cleansing required. And it's interesting. I just had this totem come in for me the other day, pterodactyl. I had pterodactyl come in the other day. And in fact, the download I got was, what was it? Had to do with pterodactyl psychometry. And I brought psychometry in on this read. All right, so there's a gift that's rising up for you out of the past. It's old, it's an old gift. And I feel like, you know, look at this energy here. It's like messages, books. It's like something in your book of secrets. I feel like this is like a psychic gift awakening in you. There's a big connection with pterodactyl medicine. I actually looked it up because I was like, what does pterodactyl totem mean? So there's a big piece here. Like there's a gift that's awakening in you. It has its roots in the past. I feel like there's a gift that's arising in this connection too. Something's being transformed here. There's something really powerful you're learning from this experience. And I feel like the gift that's awakening, the clair you're getting, it's psychometry. You're going to be able to like hold something, like you can hold like a ring. You can hold a ring, and in holding this ring, I just heard one ring to rule them all. It's got Lord of the Rings vibes, and we did have, you know, the kind of nerdy vibes come in, which is funny, okay? But you can hold a ring, all right? Now, this is an opal and an aqua aura quartz. So these may be stone allies coming in for you as well. I'm also picking up more gold energy, working with gold more than silver for you. It's like you're supposed to be at this point of like the alchemist, right? But you, with this gift, with psychometry, you can hold an object like that, like a ring, and all these visions and information will come in for you. So I think you're being asked to kind of like work with experimenting with this, developing this gift. But there's something really old here that's being balanced out and healed in this connection. It's transformational, and it bursts a new direction for you. Does it mean you end up with this person, reconnected with this person? Like, because it looks like there's like some kind of sexual connection here. Does it mean this happens? Not necessarily. There's something transformational happening here. So let's look practically here. I want to get your like overarching theme card, because we really went wild with this read. I really enjoyed this. Okay, really enjoyed this. I'm actually developing something right now. I'm developing a channel right now that I'll be making an announcement about, where I specifically just do reads like this. I won't be working with tarot on that channel, all right? So I'll make an announcement about that. I got some announcements coming, some things that I'm bringing in, so I'm really excited to share them with all of you, but I got to get it just right. I just got to get the vision of it just right. My secret sauce, my original blend, you know, my original spices, you know. Ted just said yes, giving the affirmation. So what's the gift? I feel like this is a gift. I feel this situation, what's coming around, this message that comes in, what you're working through with this person, you know, it's got old, like grimy, sticky energy. It's been sitting too long. Something needs to be cleansed here. There could have been some kind of spiritual work involved in this situation, like somebody did spell work or something along those lines, or somebody was involved in a soul retrieval process, something along these lines. But either way, there's like old, like really gunky, sticky energy here that's preventing the world from turning. When I think of the World card in tarot, I think of, you know, successful completion at first, the new beginning, right? We want to see the world. That means we've closed old karmic cycles and we're ready to step into the new. So for that to be coming in, you could also be dealing with a Scorpio, another Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be dealing with a Fiacus, because that's come in recently for me with one of my decks. I got sentience around that. Yes, this could be very strong for a Fiacus. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. You could be dealing with a Leo. Leo came in very strong for you, okay? But there's something here that needs to be addressed. It needs to be cleansed away. There's a lesson to learn here. There's a gift that comes out of it. I see new growth comes out of it. I see it's the birthing of a new beginning. But that doesn't necessarily mean you move forward with that person. So I want to know, what is birth? What is the new beginning that comes out of this experience? We got the house, okay? Something strange going on in the house. Look at Bebo there. There's very unusual energy. Things look very normal, very Americana, very traditional on the outside of the house. There's a lot of fireworks going on the inside of the house. Maybe something popped off right around that first supermoon that came in that was significant on July 3rd, okay? So it transforms something in your home situation, in your living situation. This has something to do with a secret. So it's potential that some kind of secret could be revealed that causes disruption in a home. Yes, and on this secret card, there's also like, look, there's the religious symbols. This could have something to do with money. Look, the war symbols, and that was interesting with that Syria piece that came in. Wow. So it's all tying all the messages in together. What's the reward? What's the reward on the other side of this work? There's some love relationship that turns around so you can align with who you're meant to be with. Yeah. There's a breakup to come into alignment with who you're meant to be with.